Al, it is July.
July! Oh my god.
The summer heat is here in full force.
Yeah, no kidding.
Kind of. I think it actually arrived a little bit earlier than normal, but
It's felt like the surface of the sun here.
yeah, man, it's a hot one.
God.
Do 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 do.
In which Jared turns into Rob Thomas.
I'll tell you one thing.
Or Santana. Which one do you want to actually be?
I can't play the guitar, so
Okay, well then you're Rob Thomas.
there we go. It's me. Hello, I'm Rob Thomas of Matchbox 20, and you're listening to the seasonal Let Me Checkup OVA.
There's a good transition there, buddy.
Thank you. Hello, welcome to this week's episode of the seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. It's a podcast where we have conversations about video games, anime, and manga. Hello, I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Allen, Ladium.
Hello.
This is episode number 288. Closing in on that 300th,
Whoa.
which is something.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're going to talk about a K-drama today, because Al finally wrapped it up
Sorry.
at the end of work today.
Sorry. Don't tell
hey,
anybody.
To be fair, you've been a little busy.
Been a little busy and
Been a little bit busy with things.
gonna be a little bit busy for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, for the next month.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So no one is giving you gruff here.
Thank you. I appreciate it, buddy.
We'll just give you playful gruff.
Yay.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about that today, but also
Also,
there was a Nintendo Direct today.
there was. You didn't tell me we
By the
were
time
going to talk about this.
Well, you had to assume we were going to talk about this.
I didn't, but you know what? I'm fine with it because I just recently watched it, so it's fresh in the mind-ish.
You did recently watch it because we watched it this morning.
Yep. I can't believe you were up for it.
I set an alarm.
Oh, look at you.
And then Nintendo was like, here's the video. We're not even going to do a YouTube premiere or a live stream. It's just, we just uploaded a video.
I was so shocked because I kept looking for the video and checking their Twitter and checking everything. I'm like, why can't I find this video? Like, what is happening?
Just like, here you go.
Here, have this video. Oh, okay, I guess. Thanks.
Yep. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. It was basically all third-party stuff, so nothing super big from Nintendo proper.
Except for one that was kind of a hybrid.
Yeah, but like it's still technically a third party.
It's still technically third party.
But yeah, no Zelda, no Metroid Prime, no Bayonetta, no new Mario, mainline Mario, nothing like that.
It's all third party.
Here's basically what all is coming out for the rest of the year, essentially.
That's not directly from us.
Yeah, which the Switch kind of needed to, figure out.
Yeah.
So let's dive into this. It was about 26 minutes. The Japanese one, I think, was a little bit longer because there's a lot more different stuff in it.
Ooh.
I don't know if this has any of that in this or what, but we'll talk. Maybe we'll talk about that or not. They started off with Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. I generally don't remember what they talked about with this at all because I was like, oh, it's Monster Hunter. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, same. I think it was just a trailer and some expansion pass stuff.
Yeah, probably basically the same stuff they talked about when they did the Capcom thing.
Yeah, probably.
I'm assuming. After that, Nier Automata, the end of Yorha edition is coming to the Switch. I think in October or something.
I genuinely did not expect that.
That's coming with all the DLC. There's some new costumes they're putting into this one as well, with just some goofy stuff, and then you get the 2P version of 2B and a 2P version of 9S as well. So you can feel like you're playing Soul Calibur 6 or Final Fantasy 14 while playing Nier.
Cool.
I'm curious to see how that runs.
Yeah,
as I am with all Switch ports.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They announced a new game called Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. This is from the people who made Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that's who it was from.
Yeah, that's coming out in 2023. It is a murder mystery game with a lot of style on it.
It looked super stylish. I was interested. I put it on a wish list.
Super Bomberman R2 coming out in 2023, which is a bit of a surprise. Super Bomberman R was a Switch launch game, and they're making a sequel to it. Also, you could be able to make your own Bomberman courses in it, which seems like a neat idea. This is also coming out to basically everything else as well. But yeah, sure. They put a lot of weird Konami-related characters into Super Bomberman R, so I'm assuming they'll probably do the same thing here again. So if you want to get like just weird random Konami characters in Bomberman, there you go. A collection of games that a lot of people have been asking for ages is actually coming out with the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection.
I did not realize there were so many of them.
Well, they did the Pokemon thing where they made like 2 versions of each game.
Right. And I should have realized that because I worked at freaking GameStop during the period where like we still took Game Boy Advance games.
Yeah.
But I obviously didn't pay enough attention because I was just like, yeah, it's another one.
Yeah. They're putting out 10 of those GBA games.
10.
I think there's going to be like a physical collection that has everything together, and then the digital will have 2 different versions, probably with like one of each game on it. Like that sort of thing. I never played a Battle Network game because I didn't have a GBA, so...
I did, and I did not play it, so...
Yeah, I've heard these are like card deck builder strategy RPGs. I'm just like, not for me, but like, hey, I know a lot of people have been begging for these games forever. So
yeah, it seems like a lot of people are excited.
Yeah, except people who are on the Xbox because it's not coming to Xbox for some reason.
Ripperoni.
There was literally a thing of like no Xbox trending on Twitter after this Direct came out. Just like, man, that sucks for y'all.
Whoops.
They're remaking Pac-Man World.
Yeah.
Which, sure. That's a out of the blue announcement. That's coming out August 26th. I think that's also coming out for basically everything as well. But yeah. A new game got announced as well called Blanc. It is a like monochrome, wordless game where you're a fawn and a little wolf.
It's co-op.
Little co-op campaign. Yeah, that's coming in February of next year.
It's really cute.
It's got a really nice art style. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'll play it with you. Which way are you gonna be? Are you gonna be a wolf or are you gonna be the deer?
That's a good question. But we have time to figure that out.
Sure.
A trailer for Return to Monkey Island dropped on here.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. That got announced in April of this year. It's coming out later this year as well. That art style is interesting, but also I think it's interesting because like it doesn't look like the other Monkey Island games because all the other Monkey Island games were very like pixely. Like, you know, very much the LucasArts computer adventure game style that they obviously made all those games look like. And this is more just like an updated art style that you would see for like a 2D game in general. So it was just kind of jarring in that aspect. But yeah, that looks like a Monkey Island game for sure.
Sure does.
Yeah, that's coming out later this year. Like I said, I think it's also coming out on everything else as well. So yeah, that was interesting to see show up. A game that got leaked yesterday, because of course, I believe this game got leaked for the second time in a row, because I believe the original announcement got leaked as well.
Oh no!
I want to say that happened. Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope, coming out October 20th of this year. They showed off some gameplay, some of the new things you can do in it in terms of like running around,
throwing bombs,
and combat and all that sort of stuff. Bowser is going to become a party member this time.
Yep. God, it looks good.
It's a very nice looking game. And that first game looked nice as well, so.
Yeah, I mean, like, that was a very fun game, a very unexpectedly fun game. So I'm excited that we're getting another fun game.
It's also nice for this to show up finally after, like, being radio silent since last year.
Yep.
But yeah, that's October 20th of this year. We got a trailer for Little Noah, Scion of Paradise. This is from the developers of Dragalia Lost, and I think they also there was a Little Noah mobile game as well that came out and then was disbanded in 2019. It is described as a casual roguelike and is out now.
It looked really cute.
Yeah, had a nice art style
to
it.
But...
we got a trailer for Railgrade. Which is you're just building train rails and stuff like that. I was like, all right.
Trains!
Sure.
Choo-choo.
That comes out this fall. We got a trailer for RPG Time, The Legend of Wright, which I feel like I've seen trailers for like 3 years at this point. That's out August 18th on everything as well. There was a Sonic Frontiers trailer, which... Yep, that was Sonic, all right. This is like the first time I think I've seen this gameplay in general, and I was just like, oh, this is just another Sonic game.
Yep. I texted you, I was like, I will watch Corona play it.
Yeah. I've heard as well they also have like little sections where it just turns into a behind-the-back Sonic Adventure style level.
What?
So it's just like, yeah, you're just making another Sonic game.
All right.
That's out this holiday season. There was a trailer for Disney Dreamlight Valley, which is going into early access on September 6th. It looks like Disney with Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon style gameplay.
Yeah.
It's weird looking.
I don't know what to think of it. I did think it was wild to take a selfie with Ursula, but
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening here? It's
Yeah.
like a weird like you said, Stardew Animal Crossing type Disney thing, and I'm like, what is happening? Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I might try that, like, to see what it's like, but I don't want to pay money for it.
Yeah, I think you're gonna pay money for it.
Yeah, well then screw Disney. I'm not doing it. They don't need my money.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm also surprised that they're gonna put it into early access.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how that's gonna entail or anything, but yeah. After that, Live Alive got a new trailer, and also there is a demo out now where you can play through like 3 chapters of the game. Save data carries over.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
It's the best.
That game is coming out on July 22nd.
How do you pronounce that game?
Live Alive.
Live Alive. Okay.
Yeah, not Live Alive.
Well, there's so many ways that could be interpreted.
No, I get it. I get it.
Live Alive.
Live Alive.
Live Alive. Live Alive.
Yeah.
There's so many ways. That word.
There are so many ways. Yes. After that, they showed off a new trailer for Doraemon Story of Seasons Friends of the Great Kingdom, which is a new Doraemon Story of Seasons game. I think the first one came out on the Switch sometime, I think, in the last couple of years. This is new one is coming out sometime later this year.
Okay.
That's also out for other stuff as well. They showed a trailer for Minecraft Legends, which got announced like a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's the strategy RPG Minecraft game, which, of course, they're going to put that on Switch as well.
Yeah, totally.
They showed a trailer for the new announced Dragon Quest Treasures, where you're a couple of treasure hunters searching for loot. It's like a Pokemon game, both Dragon Quest. It's coming out on December 9th. I like how anytime there's a Dragon Quest game, they just play the same song at the very beginning.
The same song.
You're like, yep.
I heard the song start up, but I saw the art and I was like, well, I can tune out until this is over.
Wow.
You know how I feel about it.
Wow.
The only good one was Dragon Warrior.
And Chrono Trigger.
Okay, that one.
For the art.
Oh, okay, the art. And God, I still hate the art. I like the sprites. But the art itself, no.
They showed off a new trailer for the Portal Companion Collection that is out today. It is Portal 1 and 2 on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
They showed off a new game called Harvestella. It is a game from Square Enix, and Square Enix basically being like, "Hey, what if we made a Rune Factory game?"
I was interested in it. It looked good.
Yeah, it has a nice art style. I'm curious to see who at Square Enix is making this, because they never said.
No,
it was just
I'm also
Square
curious.
Enix, and I don't know if that's actually been said or anything.
Like what team is actually working on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be curious to know too.
And then they wrapped up with a couple announcements that got leaked right before the direct went live, and it's that Persona 5, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 3 Portable are coming to the Switch. Finally, for all those people who have been yelling about bringing those games to the Switch, you can finally play them on Switch.
Persona 3 Portable will be portable once again.
True.
Yeah. I think we're playing a game. I texted you about this. How many times can I actually buy Persona 3?
A lot. It's the same realm as how many times can you buy Final Fantasy VIII?
Those are the two games. They get me every time. It's like, yeah, I'll buy that game again. I mean, they are consistently two of my favorite games of all time. So, but yeah, I was like, I really would love to play Persona 3 and 4 again. So this is my opportunity when they come out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But I'll be real with you, I'll probably buy it on the Switch just for funsies. But I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna get it on the PS5 and play it on my big TV.
But then you can also buy it on your Switch and play it in bed.
Exactly. I can do both.
Do a lot of things.
Get to see Akihiko talk about how he doesn't have anywhere to sit on my big
That's
TV.
True. That's very true.
We were just talking about that. Hi, Maxwell. He's like, Ma'am's talking about Persona 3 again.
Why?
Ma'am, you always talk about Persona 3.
Stop that. We
Maxwell,
get it. You like it.
Maxwell, please support my love.
He's like, I guess.
I guess.
But yeah, that's the Nintendo Direct. I think the Japanese one, they announced a new like Monster Rancher game, but it's like a collab with something else. So that's not there. And there's also like a bunch of other trailers for stuff that didn't show up over here. Like there was a Digimon Survive trailer. I think a couple other things as well that just weren't in this for whatever reason. But yeah.
I mean, it was a pretty good Direct. I was impressed.
Yeah, for, them kind of just announcing it like, oh, hey, we're going to do this tomorrow. And then also only third-party stuff. Like, it's a good selection of third-party stuff coming to Switch.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that was not really known, so only a couple of things really leaked in there, so.
Although they were jerks for not having the video up beforehand, ready to go for the premiere.
It's true.
Made me all nervous for nothing.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
But yeah, that's the Nintendo Direct that happened this week.
This week.
Now let's move on to a Korean drama, which is very much the same thing.
Totally the same thing. Very related.
Mm-hmm. Very related.
I mean, they do play Tekken in it.
Yeah, they do. You're not wrong.
So it's somewhat related to games, I guess.
I guess. You're not... Yeah. Can't argue there.
Yeah, it's like maybe 20 seconds of Tekken. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. We watched Our Beloved Summer as a Korean drama on the Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Came out in December of 2021, so fairly recently. I like how if you translate it literally, it's just called That Year We.
That Year We.
That Year We. That's it.
Yep, that's it. Not as good as the other literal translation.
No, I mean you can't really beat that one. I think.
Oh man.
That's one of a kind.
One of a kind.
But yeah, we are continuing just watching random Korean dramas, or I'm watching random Korean dramas, and Al's catching up to me.
Trying to catch up
at some point.
Suffering.
Yeah. The show is about like two people who in high school they filmed a documentary together, and then 10 years later they're filming a kind of like a follow-up documentary.
Yep.
Like how have your lives changed in the 10 years that have passed and everything. Also, what's happened to you guys in the 10 years that have passed and everything.
Yep.
So there you go. I am curious to see what you thought of it, because I felt like I got a lot of interesting comments about this show as you were watching it.
Did you? I don't remember what comments I made.
I don't know. You just had like you didn't have a very enthusiastic tone when talking about this show, I felt like.
I'm trying to think of what I said.
You were real into Subway, obviously.
Oh my God, the Subway product placement. Man, that was blatant.
Yep.
I think it has some good things that it does.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the main two characters are extremely insufferable. And I'm just like, oh my God, you guys are stupid. Like, what are you doing? Just talk to each other, or like, I don't know, try to not act like children for 10 seconds. And then you have like brooding man over there like, well, I didn't get the girl, and I'm gonna be sad for the entire thing except for one episode at the very end where I'm doing a documentary, and also my coworker says that she likes me, and I'm gonna like do something weird with a wheel. Like, I'm very, very sad though.
My favorite thing about that part in particular is that it happens during a 2-year time skip.
Right.
And she that's when she's like, oh, now I'm going to tell you this.
Well, and the other two that he's like, oh, I'm asking you on a date. It's like, it's been 2 years, my
right?
dude. 2 years you had to have this conversation. And neither of these two couples had this conversation
until literally just then.
Until we're headed to the final event thing here. And it's like, what? you couldn't
That
at
made me
least have
laugh.
one of them be together, like in that time period. That's like, oh yeah, you remember that time that we went on this date and fell in love? Yeah, cool. No, no, it's just like I'm gonna do a stupid car confession, and I'm gonna be like, oh, by the way, I'm asking you on a date. Where you want to go to dinner? Wink, wink. It's like, what?
It's
What?
very funny.
What? Um,
Uh,
I will say though, easily the best character is his manager. I love his manager. The second best character is the guy who runs the hardware store. He keeps popping back up and
oh
wanted to
my
be in all the
god.
videos. I love that guy. He wanted to be in every video so bad. My hardware store is getting so much attention.
They're like, get out of here. All right, let's go fishing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They were just so insufferable. Um, I I said this with the other one, like I don't feel like they would stay together very long. Um, but like I feel like these two would just be petty to each other for no good reason and like ruin their own relationship and self-sabotage constantly. I don't know. Did you like this better than I did?
I think a little bit more.
Okay.
There was definitely parts in like the beginning where I was kind of just like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
Like I definitely almost like stopped after like a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
I do think it's very much a slow starter, and then
is.
it gets better once you actually learn about like both of their kind of like motivations and like how they've gotten to this point. Because before then they really don't really tell you anything. It's kind of just like, oh, you're being plopped right in the middle of this, and these two were very petty towards each other, and they've had obviously some issues and all that sort of stuff. So you don't really know exactly what's happened. But I think once you kind of learned exactly how everything played out and their individual motivations behind everything, it starts like kind of making things make more sense. It makes, I think, the show play off a little bit better than it had in the very beginning. So I think it had that going for it as well. I didn't find them as nearly as insufferable as you did. Because I think I saw them like grow more as like the series went on.
They did a little bit, yeah.
Because eventually they started like actually communicating with each other and like telling each other like, hey, this is the things we need to figure out and talk about and actually nail down, because we have never done this, or we haven't done this in a long time, and we should probably do this because it is bad for our relationship in general if we don't do this. And just learning, I think, really to like actually trust each other. Because I think by the end of it, they're actually kind of really starting to do that, whereas before they really just didn't.
I also do appreciate at the end that she did not go with him.
Because they very much make it like blatantly obvious, like, oh, this is what's gonna happen because you got this great opportunity. She's like, nah, I'm gonna stay here.
I like my life how it is.
Yeah.
Like I was really worried. I'm like, oh my god, she's just gonna leave like her sick grandma behind for this guy. And even though that's what grandma wanted, I was just like, ah. But yeah, I appreciated that she's like, no, like I've got my own thing. I'm my own person. You go do your thing. We'll figure it out. It's like, all right, I appreciate that you guys have had that growth there.
Yeah.
Good work.
And it didn't come into like a thing where like, oh, well, you didn't come with me, so I hate you now. It's just like, okay, we'll figure this out. We'll do our thing.
She did keep playing the like what if game, trying to get him to say that he loved her though, and I was like, really? You're doing that again? You're doing it again? And then getting mad that he's not saying it. It's like,
yeah, but then how are you gonna have that cool moment at the end where he shows up and is like, hey, what's up? I'm here.
With a very pink lipstick. God, the lipstick was so pink.
You got to have a moment in the snow, because it's not a Korean drama finale if there's not a moment with snow falling around you.
You're right. Do you want to know what I liked the least about the show?
I know what you liked the least about this show. It was NJ.
NJ! God, I hated her.
I did not hate her as much as you hated her. Actually, I don't think I hated her at all.
She was a freaking creep.
I don't think she was a creep.
No, she was totally a creep. She was absolutely a creep. She was like stalking him. She was like trying to like play all these games with communication. She's like trying to buy all of his stuff, and she's being all weird about like, well, woo, friends, or we're gonna hang out. Like, can you calm down for like
I think
10
she's
seconds
just
to
like
stop being thirsty?
she's a dumb and a weirdo, but like she just doesn't. She's in that such like a huge different like sphere as everyone else, and basically it's probably been like sheltered in a way for a big majority of her life because she's been famous for so long that she just doesn't know how to talk to people or have like actual normal meaningful relationships with people. So she's like, I don't know how to do this, but I'm just gonna act like I'm very confident in everything.
She's a creep. And like she didn't really get any resolution to her story. Like they said like, oh, she made a video that was unedited and it made a
That was strange.
I was like, what was this about? What happened here?
She was like the one like main character who just like there was like, oh, she made a video and people were like okay with it or not, and that was it. And I was like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What?
He's like, what?
Okay.
How is that her ending? What?
Yeah, that was bizarre.
Like I kind of expected her to like become friends with the other guy.
Yeah.
Like legitimately just friends. Like her actually have a situation where she is friends with somebody and like is able to hang out, because they had a few scenes where they like went to dinner together and hung out.
The Broken Hearts Club.
Right. And I was like, that's kind of cool. Like I could dig them being friends, but they
like,
didn't even
that
do
doesn't really get resolved or anything. And like like you said, her story as well just doesn't really get resolved in a really meaningful way, which is weird because she's a main character.
Yeah, and a creep. She's a creep. Also, she like buries her cell phone at one point in a plant so that she won't call him. I'm like, girl, you gotta calm down.
There was the one scene where she's like trying to replant her plant because it was like dying or something, or she needed a new pot for it or something, and she gets like halfway through it and there's just dirt on her floor. She's like, why am I doing this? And I was just like, that's relatable.
Yep.
Like that was good.
That was good. She was strange. I could not stand that character.
Trust me, I was well aware.
She just felt like a giant tangent for no reason. It's like there's that whole sequence with like her haters that like they do charity work. It's like what is this about? What is happening here? And I know that like the whole idea is that she's like, not having good interactions with people and doesn't really trust people, and that she's standing up for herself in this situation and blah, blah, blah. It's like, this doesn't really actually feel relevant to anything other than you want to have this girl on the screen more.
Look, we got 16 episodes. We gotta fill time.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
We can't do any more montages with the Christmas tree song.
The Christmas tree song. I swear to God, it sounds like John Mayer. It's not John Mayer, but it sounds just like a John Mayer song. You cannot tell me that doesn't sound like something that would be on a John Mayer album.
You're not wrong.
I was listening to it. I was just like, what is this like adult contemporary nonsense that's going on right now? Oh man, that song. I will say one thing that I really, really liked about the show is that he had a cool apartment.
He did. It's very fancy.
His apartment ruled. I was like, I don't know. I mean, they clarified many, many times, like, he's well off. He makes a lot of money. His parents also have a lot of money. He's not going to struggle for this. But I was like, I wonder how much he has to pay for that every month.
Yeah. Probably a pretty penny.
Probably. And, there's no real resolution to his story, like, when it comes to his art. Like, he gets his degree.
Yeah.
And then he comes back.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like he does the book, right?
Like at the very end, yeah. But like other than that, it's not like he like has this realization of like what it means to actually, do his actual art or anything like that. It's just like, hey, I'm back.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Like I wanted something where he has, because there's a scene where somebody talks to him about like how there's no like real feeling or emotion in his art, or the critic says that or something. And so I wanted some kind of like revelation of that rather than
unless
just like
the book thing is supposed to be that.
I guess it is, but like I don't know. I don't know that I need everything like completely spelled out for me, but I would at least like the character to have some kind of indication that he learned from the schooling he did.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense to just basically do that as a big plot line and then just kind of be like, well, okay, yeah, whatever.
Well, especially because his interest is in architecture. Like he likes doing
Right.
architectural drawings.
And
And
that's the kind of school he's going to.
right, the entire reason he goes to that school is because his favorite architect is there and he's interested in that. And it's like, oh, but he drew a comic or a manga. And I'm like, what? What? That's what?
Okay.
All right, I guess. Whatevs. I'm sorry. I sound way more salted than I am. I didn't hate
Put some
this.
salt on the table.
I did not hate the show. It makes it
Yeah.
sound like I hate the show, and I don't hate the show. There were definitely moments I was like, this is cute, this is fun. Um, and then there were other moments I was like, NJ's a creep. Um, Jung needs to like stop being
Sad.
stop being like that guy.
Yeah.
He's just being that guy the whole time. Then I'm like, oh my god, you're one of those dudes. It's like, oh, but I'm such a nice guy to her. Why won't she love me? I'm like, buddy.
You make no indication that you have feelings for her. What do you think is going to happen?
His assistant even says like, you literally never said anything to her.
Yeah.
That's why I'm gonna tell you how I feel. Like, you're just brooding the whole time.
Big brood man.
Yeah, like dude had a sucky life. That's legit. But then like she even attempts to be like friends with him. He's like, nope, no, thank you, nope, I'm out. And like,
I'm sad.
that's your best friend's girlfriend, fiance, whatever the heck she is at this point. Like, you can't even be friends with her because you had a crush on her and for forever. Um, Also, like you had a crush on her at high school, and then like there was a gap, and then you're like, oh, I'm in love with her again when you do the documentary or watch the documentary. Okay, sure. What? What?
Al vents about characters.
I'm sorry. This is who I am. You know that.
I know.
You knew what you were getting yourself into here.
I liked main dude's parents
I loved his parents.
because they're just weird and they are also just very supportive, but also very weird.
The whole scene at the end where his dad was like, oh man, we're out of gas. I can't take you to the airport.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was like, good, good. Or
Also,
like,
when he gives him money to get the nice fishing rod, he's like, "Oh my god!"
steal the money out of the till, and
Yeah.
like, no.
He's like, "Here you go. I'll support you." And he's like, "Oh my goodness!"
Which that brings up another thing. Like, that whole story bit is very glossed over. Of like, there's an indication at one point that they had a son who died.
Well, I mean, I don't think there's really much indication. It's very blatant.
I mean, they have like a picture of him and they're crying, and then like
Yeah.
they go off to the countryside at one point.
Yeah.
And then he's like the adopted son that they took in.
Right.
And you get like the very end scene where like he talks about it with his mom, where she's like, yeah, like as soon as we held you, like you were our son. And he's like, okay, I needed that, but like I wish there had been a little bit more of that kind of stuff than bickering nonsense. Because like that's where the show was really good, was where you're having like those real heart to heart moments where you feel like this is where the characters are growing, because he has this moment with his mom. He's like, you know, I was worried that I wasn't going to be anything like you guys because I really like who you are and I wanted to be like that. And she like tells him, you know, you're perfect, you're great, like we love you to pieces. I wanted more of that.
No, I can agree with that. Yeah.
And like maybe not like just 2 minutes of Oh, by the way, our first son died. The end.
BT dubs.
BT dubs. Like there's no explanation on how, like, you know, he got abandoned on the street. Like how how did they end up with him? Like there's that one scene at the end where he's like, "Hi, Dad. Okay, bye." Um,
I'm gonna look at you and then walk away.
yeah. I was like, I needed a little bit more of that backstory to be fleshed out. And actually, some of hers needed to be fleshed out better too. Like, there's the whole scene with like her house is just completely wrecked, and they're talking about the debt and something about an uncle, and I was like, I know that you're poor.
Debt collectors.
I know that there's debt issues, but like, what? Like, they don't really explain what happened to her parents, do they?
I thought they did.
Did they?
I want to say they did. I thought they're like both dead or something. I don't know, maybe. I feel like they did at some point. I just don't remember the like the specificities of it.
Yeah. So they could have done something of like, you know, obviously his parents really care about her, and they make that very obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could have.
They're just by factor everyone's parents, I think.
Yeah, because they're also Jin's parents.
Yeah.
Because like his mom was neglectful. I think that's a nice way to put it.
The neighborhood parents.
And so they're just like, "All right, kid, come eat with us. Come here. Come hang out with our kid." And he's like, "Okay, cool." So like you could have had some. Okay, this is gonna be weird. This reminds me of a situation that like my mom has always told me that my dad's parents felt more like parents to her than her parents did.
Mm-hmm.
So like that kind of conversation could happen here of like they cared so much about her, and it was very, very clear. You could have like a moment of like, I care about you as my family too. Wah. But that doesn't really happen with her.
Yeah.
She's kind of like, "Oh yeah, I'll come back for food. All right. No, I'm gonna go call your son a head." Anyway, I'm gonna rewrite this whole thing, and it's gonna be lovely. I'm sorry, original writer. You did your best. You did a great job.
I did think it was weird as well that like the last couple of episodes when they actually finally get back together and like they're fine, there was very much clips in like the previews for the next episode that are like, "Oh, something's gonna happen," and then nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
I was getting clickbaited by the preview.
Yep.
And I'm just like, what is happening? I was like, oh, don't give me like more drama. Like, oh, they gotta figure something out because they gotta into an argument. It's like, oh wait, no, nothing happened here in this episode. What?
I appreciated that you warned me about that, because I said something like, "Oh no, they got together. Here's some drama." You're like, no.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
You're getting clickbaited.
I was so like weirded out by that. I was just like, why is this a thing you're doing?
But after that, I was just like, "I'm ignoring you, preview. You're not right."
Because like, yeah, nothing really ever happened once they got together. It was like everything was fine except for like, you know, they had to figure out the France part, but then they figured it out all nice and calmly, and they were just like, okay, we're gonna do this, and that's how we're gonna figure it out. Okay, good job, everyone. High five.
I also find it hilarious that one guy was like, yes, here's this opportunity in France. Anyway, I have to go walk my dog. And I'm like, what?
He's like, I don't want to stay here and talk to you for that long. Come on.
Yeah, no, goodbye.
I got a dog to walk.
Also, that man disappeared for like half the series.
I mean, to be fair, I guess he really wasn't needed for most of the series because like they tried to build him up as like a love rival,
and then like
rival,
yeah.
He talks to Ung about it, and he's like, yeah, no, I don't see her that way. No.
Yeah, nope, no.
And then he's gone.
He's just hanging out with his dog.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, they did the thing with his company, and he didn't need to show up anymore.
Yeah. Until the end, where he's like, "By the way, do you want a
go
job
to France?
Opportunity?"
Nah, not really.
Conveniently, your boyfriend's also going to France. How about that? There was something else I was going to bring up, and now I'm completely blanking. All I can think about right now is Christmas tree.
Don't think about Christmas tree. What if you had some
Yeah.
nice Subway to go along with this?
Oh my God, the Subway product placement is it's so
Blatant.
blatant.
That's just what Subway does. They love to get their hooks in on Korean dramas.
Well, they don't have commercials in like the traditional way. It's like this is their way of doing commercials, basically. But
There's
like
that and like their very blatant Volvo sponsorship for all the cars.
Right. Right.
I love how like there was I think there was a scene where like there was a moving truck, and you could very clearly see the emblem on the front of the moving truck, but they just put black gaffer tape over it so you couldn't tell what it was.
Amazing.
It's like, wow.
They even had the part with the Subway app where they're like, "Oh yes,
Yeah.
I want this kind of sandwich, and I want this." Also, holy crap! They ordered white bread and American cheese when they went to the Subway.
That's American for you.
I don't even know anybody here that does white bread and American cheese on their Subway sandwiches. Holy moly. Anyway, sorry. Oh my God, Maxwell. I won't rant too much about the Subway sandwiches.
I mean, to be fair, it was just like one of those things that you're just like, huh?
Yeah.
What?
Twice.
I thought it was going to be like a one and done deal because they did it in one episode. Then like later on, they come back and there's like in front of the Subway. It's like, what? Oh my God, they're back.
The Subway is back.
They brought the Subway back.
I also wish that there had been more resolution about the best friends bar.
Yeah.
Because like the whole time they're talking about how it's financially struggling, and at the end he's like, "Oh, I have a giant severance pay. Wow." And she's like, "Well, do you want to go into business with me?" No, I don't want to do that. But then 2 years later, it's still up and running, and I'm like,
Well, he's working there now as well.
he's working there. Well, I mean, he doesn't have a job,
So, I'm guessing they probably came to an agreement of some sort because those two were just wild and out of control.
both of them were. That entire scene where they were partying together was just brilliant.
It's great.
She ends up in like a cardboard robot outfit.
Yeah.
He just like rolling on the ground. That was good.
The whole time she's like, "Why would he confess to me?" And he's just like, "What are you talking about? I'm just a dude.
I'm just a dude." She's like,
I just come here to help you because I'm trying to be nice."
"Well, I don't like younger men." Like, oh, okay.
Well, like older ladies.
He does call her Nuna though, so that's cute.
But yeah, those two were fun
Mm-hmm.
because they're just goofy. They were the good comedic side characters, but like just did great things together.
I loved both of them. They were really good.
Yeah.
What do you think about the whole subplot with June's mom?
Weird.
Yeah.
Very much was like we needed an emotional part at the very end here.
It felt like it got very shoehorned in because they're like, well, we can't have him pine after her anymore. So what are we going to do?
Your mama's gonna die.
Ah! And like he did a very good job acting in that one scene in the hospital where he's just like bawling.
Totally,
his eyes
yeah.
out.
Yeah. It
But-
was one of those things. It felt tacked on and kind of just out of the blue of like, oh, we need some real emotional hits
Yeah.
here at the end.
Like if they had been building that up better throughout the series, I think it would have hit better.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like I said, it just felt like a replacement of like, oh yeah, they're together
we
now.
we need something else for you to do that's not just hanging around with NJ being sad.
Yeah, just pining over this girl you're never gonna be with. Just staring at her creepily throughout high school and
And in the editing room.
in the editing room. Oh God, that was creepy.
Oh, also in the editing room, they were
Uh-huh.
using the same mouse that I have.
Really?
Yeah, except it was like black, and I was like, wait a minute, that's my mouse.
Do you have a very specific mouse?
It's a Logitech wireless mouse, but it is the same mouse that they were using.
Oh, they
I was like, hey, that's my mouse.
You're in the editing room.
Yeah, it's me. I'm just looking at her longingly the whole time and editing out parts of him.
While the
The girl just looks into the window like, God, he's doing it again.
yep.
Go to sleep. Go eat.
The other
It's
right.
like it's like I'm hanging out with you. Like, oh, Al hasn't ate again. Oh, Al's not sleeping again. Oh,
Yep.
she's in the editing room.
Yeah, that tracks. That totally tracks.
Yeah.
And then you've got the other two that work there, like the older guy and the older lady, and I'm like, they just show up sometimes and do things.
What about the intern?
I love the intern. The intern's good.
He's just a dummy.
He is a dummy. I do appreciate though at one point, like, June kept calling him like intern, and he's like, no, my name is this. And he's like,
He's
yeah,
like, oh, okay, yeah, intern. He's like, no, my name's this.
my name is this. He's like, well, I'll call you intern then. It's like,
He's like, all right.
I appreciate though the intern's like, I have a name. Like,
Yeah.
you can learn my name.
Yeah. Also, he was like actually like decent at his job.
Yeah, like he wasn't just like a stupid guy who was like bumbling through and messing things up. Like
Socially, he might have been a bit dumb, but like for his work, he actually did what he was supposed to.
Was anybody socially like good at anything in this show? Other than the two who were doing that awesome party with the cardboard? I don't think that the intern really stands out as like a socially awkward person, because literally everybody's terrible at being social in this show.
Might be right.
Everybody's just like, we don't know how to talk to humans, except for, okay, those two, his parents,
His mom.
yes.
His dad's a little out there.
Okay, that's true. His mom is very good at it.
Yeah. She was also in the weather show.
Was she? Who was she in the weather show?
She was the one boss that the main two went to that one island at the end. She was the boss of that little weather place.
Wow, that's a completely different type of role.
Yeah. Very different.
Wow. Well, I'll be... Huh. But those are the only ones I could think of that, like, she was good. I don't know, even then, like, the other two had awkward moments together.
NJ's
too.
manager.
That poor man he's gonna need a break.
Please stop running away.
Let that man have a nap.
Stop running away from me.
Stop doing dumb things.
Yeah.
He's like, why are you like this, NJ?
Ay.
The year we.
The year we.
I do also think it's strange, and I don't know why I think this is super strange, but it's like, why is their documentary going viral 10 years after the documentary aired?
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know, like, I mean, you could say that about anything that like goes viral that's been out for years and years. It just never did before.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's obviously an actual thing that happens. But yeah, it was weird that like, oh, this web documentary just got real viral all of a sudden with the youth.
That youth.
And I guess they relate to the struggles of teenagers because they are also teenagers.
Yeah, he had those teenagers come up to him at one point, like, take pictures with us.
But it could have also been a thing that like, it was the 10th anniversary of it coming up, so maybe people were like reminiscing about it or like talking about it in that sort of context. So like that helped to kind of respark interest in people and also like new audience as well.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Like that's the only thing that really would make sense other than like, unless it was just like a spontaneous, oh, it's viral again. Hiya.
Hiya. And then they end up doing another documentary.
Yep.
They're married.
Married.
Marriage. And they live in the cool house.
They do live in the cool house.
That house is really cool.
It is really cool. It's got that neat basement.
That basement's so rad. I would live in that basement.
Do art.
Oh,
7 a.m.
I can't do art, but I would do things in that basement.
Doesn't sound shady at all. Al's doing drugs in the basement.
Not drugs. I mean, like, I don't know. You could easily make a basement really dark.
Oh my god.
And you could just hang out. And
No.
What's wrong with that?
You need some light, Al. You're not a vampire or a bat.
What
I
if?
know as much as you want to be.
But what if I don't want light?
No. No, you need some light.
But the basement would be good for that.
You need some of that vitamin D in your nut. No, not in your in your life. Sorry, I almost made a D's jokes and then I accidentally made a D's jokes. I goofed myself.
Good breathing. Oh my god.
Yeah, get some of that vitamin D in your.
Oh my god.
And that's how Al is passed out from laughing so much, and now she doesn't need to worry about the darkness.
Crying. Oh man. Could be dark. Oh man. That was that was good.
Can you breathe now?
No. No. Okay. Okay, I can do this. Breathing. Okay. Okay. Oh man. Wow. That was good.
Thank you.
That was good. Well done. You're probably gonna have to edit out like 90% of that laughing.
Or I'll just keep it in.
All right, well, I guess people are just gonna be bombarded by me dying laughing.
Hey, what's new?
Okay, well, I don't know that I've laughed that hard in a long time.
Well, I'm happy to help.
Oh, Ralph, buddy.
He's like, why are you laughing so much? You make me tired.
It made me tired. There was something else I was gonna say. I don't remember what else I was gonna
Subway,
say.
eat fresh.
Oh my god.
Hashtag not an ad.
She doesn't know how to use the app.
No.
The other girl's like, let me order.
The girl with bad dating advice.
Oh my god, her dating advice was terrible.
I did like that episode because like it definitely felt like it was like setting up to be like another big argument, and he's just like, what are you doing? Why are you being weird?
Yeah, you're being real weird.
Oh, I thought I needed to do all this stuff to be today, and he's just like, nah, just be yourself. That's what I like. Don't be weird. And she's like, oh, okay.
All right.
And then they're like, all right, yeah, all right. Let's da 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 da. I was like, all right, that's nice.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Another thing I thought was weird about the show is that we had the plot very early on of like, there's this other guy who does art and there might be plagiarism and what's happening here. We're going to do this art off. And then like he showed up very close to the end. It's like, by the way, I copied your art. What are you going to do about it, buddy?
He's just like, nothing. I ignored it the first time you gave me those accusations. I don't care.
And
whatever.
And I was like, what is the point of this guy?
He's a rival, but he's the jealous rival.
Like, why did he even come back? He didn't have a purpose to come back.
He had to come back and reaffirm that critics' criticism about like, oh, your art's kind of just soulless and lifeless, by the way.
But why would you listen to that guy?
Because our boy's a little shy about his art. Not shy. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but he doesn't have the most confidence in his art right now.
Have confidence.
He has no confidence.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of confidence in it for like a lot of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was weird that like, here's this guy again. It's like, okay. Hello. He's literally just like a cardboard villain character of like, I did this bad thing. What are you gonna do?
I don't care.
This is like, nah, whatevs.
Please leave.
Go away. Thanks for giving me money, though. You bought a ticket.
Hey.
Weirdo.
Yep.
Is there anything else that we need to say about the show?
They played Tekken.
They did play Tekken.
They did play Tekken, which was
Um,
cool. The King of Iron Fist tournaments. What if he had taken his rival and threw him into a volcano?
That's what he should have done.
I think that would have helped.
I agree. I will say that this is a very different role than what I'm used to seeing Chawushik do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I Parasite is like his biggest thing, but I think he was in the Train to Busan as well.
Right.
So I was like, huh, romantic comedy drama.
He is Korean Canadian.
What?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be
Eh?
eh.
There you go.
How about that?
How about that?
Migrated to Vancouver, Canada. He spent 10 years in Vancouver. He attended high school at some school. English name is Edward, and he goes by Eddie.
Hey, it'd be Eddie.
Huh. That sure is a name. Wonder
Weird
what.
that they would have to give him like an English name.
That's how a lot of people do it.
It just feels weird.
I mean, like, Western racism, man.
I mean, no, I completely understand that and everything, but like, it doesn't make the fact that it's weird.
No, you're right. You're right. But a lot of Korean folks and Chinese folks, some Japanese folks too, and they live in like Canada or US or whatever, they choose like a Western English name.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that it I would have expected Edward or Eddie from him. He doesn't really strike me as an Eddie. But that is cool information to know. Like
There
I
you
said,
go.
very different kind of role for him. He did a good job. Pretty sure his ears are pierced. I kept seeing holes in his ears.
He went to Claire's in Canada and got him pierced.
I mean, I went to Claire's and I got mine pierced in Tennessee.
No, I'm sorry.
I know. Not his ears. I didn't pierce his ears in Tennessee.
Well, I'd hope not. That would be a little weird.
It was like, all right, guy, I don't know. Let me take you to Claire's. Shoot you with his ear hole gun.
Ear hole gun. Yep, that's what they call it.
Yep, that's what they call it. Ugh.
Grody.
Yep.
Anyways, that's it.
Yep.
That is
We
our
watched,
beloved
we
summer,
watched the
or
show.
that year we.
That year we.
Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this week's episode. We got to talk about a Korean drama. We got to talk about Nintendo Direct, all that sort of stuff.
Very
So, yeah.
similar things.
Very similar. If you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sac.cool, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Jared Now Watch. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Ann Ladium, go to annladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup. You can buy our books, One Shiny Moment of Critical Analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, and Hot Tubs and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA. Buy us a slice of pizza, get access to unedited versions of the podcast early, and a whole wealth of bonus content as well.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, maybe I'll have finished the Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative.
I hope
And we can talk about that. If not, we'll talk about something else instead.
Okay.
So look forward to that.
Yay!